Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we're ignited by Athlinks. We are at the Blueprint for Athletes Leadville 100 mountain bike race. With me, the CEO of GOO, one of the sponsors of the event, Mr. Brian Vaughan. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
It has been a long time since we chatted. So talk a little bit about this particular event, because you're not just somebody who sponsors this event, you participate as well.
Yes. Yeah, and the first year I did it was before we were a sponsor.
Okay.
And it's just a big, audacious goal on two wheels.
So as a guy who was involved with the Ironman or pretty early on, was over there, compare a little bit. This reminds me of early Ironman, to be honest.
It does. I mean, you have perennial favorites back in the day with Rebecca Rush and Dave Weens.
Yes.
And now it's just turned out to be an all-out sprint. I mean, they're shooting for 6 hours.
It's amazing how fast everybody's going. Talk a little bit about what's happened with GOO over the years, because you guys have been around for a while and have watched these sports mature, involved with running, triathlon, cycling, mountain biking. Endurance has been your bailiwick from the beginning. And what I call endurance entertainment now with Spartan Race and Warrior Dash and Leadville, there's so much out there. So you've sort of seen this industry grow around you. When you first started GOO, the industry was nowhere near as big as it is now.
Yeah, it isn't. We didn't have professional athletes.
No, we really didn't, right?
Back then, 20 years ago. So it was 1993.
Was when you first started?
When we first started. My sister was running trail ultras, and she was just going out there to have fun and to push her limits. She realized that she couldn't get through a 100-mile race on traditional food or what was available at the time, the power bar.
Right.
And so we became the sort of the anti-bar. You know,
so did you create the product to help her out?
Well, my dad created the product. He's the formulator.
Yeah.
But we took the components that were giving her problems.
And what were those?
Fat, fiber, and proteins, whole proteins.
Yeah.
We take those out, and what we have left are the building blocks of proteins, amino acids, and a nice, well-balanced blend of simple and complex carbohydrates that are easy on the gut. So
basically, you guys were sort of guinea pigs for this product going along to see, okay, what works, what doesn't work.
Right.
And how important has that been in terms of the change in formulation, change in the flavors? Because it sounds like you guys go out and test your own stuff before it goes to market.
We do. And over the years, we've added to the gel category.
Right.
We have electrolyte drinks, energy drinks.
Yeah.
And it's evolved from there. So we know that physiology does change between, let's say, Kona, Hawaii, and Ironman.
Sure.
I'm sorry, and Leadville.
Leadville, right, totally different, yeah.
Totally different. And running, up at elevation is totally different. So we've figured out how to time nutrients to the body at the right moments during a race.
So for you personally, you're going for your 6th finish here at Leadville. What is the challenge of this particular race?
Staying within your limits for the first half. If you go beyond the pace that you have set for yourself, this type of altitude and dry,
pay for it.
You'll pay for it at some point. Columbine is a tricky problem to solve. It's a 7.5 mile hill that goes over 3,300 feet straight up.
Just straight up. And you're going from 10,000 to 12,500 and everything in between. You could have hail, you could have snow. You've got the weather conditions at the beginning, right? You start at 6:30 in the morning. It's freezing.
It's freezing. It will be 25 degrees as we go through that
25
river valley.
Yeah.
And
you're on pavement.
And then power line on the way back, it could be 85 to 90.
So you obviously change what you're wearing throughout the day, or you start with layers and just
you probably start with layers and a strip down, and then change bottles, change fluids, and hopefully you can get to the boulevard, which is the last 3.5 miles, with a little bit of kick in your legs, because that's the fun part. The fun part is coming home.
Of course, finishing this. And how important is it to still be out there competing? Because I see it. People start companies and they sort of get removed from their user. because they're not really, they're immersed in creating a company, building a company, and not so much in participating themselves. How important is it for you to be here, not so much for yourself as a human guinea pig, but also talking to these people who are your consumers and getting their feedback on your product?
Yeah. We're trying to build a community. I mean, as you see from folks on the starting line on Saturday, they're going to be triathletes, they're going to be runners, they're going to be road cyclists, cyclocross riders. And so at each of these events, we'll develop a little home base for athletes where we can greet them, talk about their own nutritional concerns, and try to help them solve these issues as they put together a nutrition plan.
Have you had athletes come to you and say, I love your product, and this is a problem I have, and how is it possible for GOO to help me with that?
Yes. I mean, everybody is their own sort of lab experiment.
Exactly.
Right. And as they gain experience, they'll be able to recognize differences in their bodies during short races, long races, cold races, warm races, hot races. And so we'll try to deconstruct what their best race might be. And try to build from there and take in some of these components, like Leadville, again, as we said, is 11,400 feet of climbing. It's 12,500 feet where you top out, and it's 104 miles, right? And so that's going to be different at sea level for someone than it is up here. So we'll try to develop individual solutions for athletes.
What's your personal goal for tomorrow?
My personal goal is to break 8:30.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's they have a 9-hour buckle, right?
They do have a 9-hour buckle, right?
Do you have one of those?
I have 2 of those and 3 small ones.
Oh, and you like the bigger ones better?
Well, I think we all need goals out there.
Exactly.
Right? And it's the thing that challenges us.
Now, this big one here, I think, is for 1,000 miles. That's for 10, and 6 is more than halfway to 10, I think, from my great math background.
Right.
So,
and that is in the back of my head.
I bet it's in the back of your head.
The 1,000-mile belt buckle.
How much has the product changed over the years, your particular product, from 93 till now?
Well, it's interesting. We've found through research that we don't need antioxidants while we excercise.
Oh, interesting.
100% of your daily value of vitamin E and vitamin C in each packet of GOO or Roctane. We're finding out that it's best for the body to respond to some of that oxidative stress naturally.
Oh, interesting.
So we've taken those antioxidants out. That allows us to put something else in there because we aren't confused. Our body isn't confused with those antioxidants now, and we can put something else in there. So we've put in beta-alanine into which is a vasodilator.
Okay. So what will that do for you?
Well, it will allow your blood to pump.
To get it to where it needs to be. Get it to your legs.
And your head.
And your head. That's very, very important. Love that.
So, we take the research that's being done now. That's been reviewed by peers within that community and apply it to our product development cycle.
And what's next? Is there, now you said you're doing fluids and you're obviously doing GOO. Is there something else on the drawing board that nobody's watching, so you can tell me? It's totally top secret. It won't be a problem.
Secret. Well, top secret. We have a bar in the making.
Do you really?
So we were the anti-bar 20 years ago.
Right, I remember that. And now you're coming to the dark side.
Now we're coming to the dark side. We're doing it organically and all natural. We're using some simple ingredients like quinoa. And dates. And there's a moment for that, particularly in these endurance events.
I agree. And when will that come out?
That will be out the spring of 2016.
Always new stuff.
You always new stuff. Exactly.
You always have to have new stuff, right?
Our flavors are new. I can't believe what we're doing right now.
You are doing some great
and
stuff.
some strange ones too.
But that's okay, right?
Is.
You want to do something that's a little off the edge. Yeah. Salty, little big salty out there. I love him.
Yeah. Have you heard of our maple bacon?
No.
Yes.
Maple bacon. Now, I'm a huge espresso love.
Okay.
And then, what's the caramel one?
We have caramel macchiato.
That's the one.
Yes.
My wife just got me into that.
Right.
And she is a big Yeti fan, right?
Yes. So, the idea of flavor fatigue is huge.
Big time.
It is. And so, whether it's a savory flavor that comes into the line or something, or we've been testing cucumber mint as a
that's
light,
very refreshing.
As a light, refreshing flavor. So, we're looking for things to clean the palate,
right?
To excite the taste buds.
Exactly.
And so if you have a pocket full of gels and you pick one out, it's a surprise.
It could be. It could be a surprise, and that's sort of fun.
Yeah.
Love it. Brian, thanks so much for taking time. Good luck in number 6 tomorrow. It'd be great to see you with that with that under 9-hour belt buckle. That's always fun.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Brian Vaughan, CEO of GU, has been with us again. This is Breakfast with Bob. We are ignited. We are ignited by Athlinks, and we are at the Blueprint for Athletes, Leadville 100 Mountain Bike Classic. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.